What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the Hot Mic Show. I'm your co-host, and this is your host, Sarah.
Hello, everyone. Welcome back to our show. Today we have one very, very special in the hot seat.
You can't talk today.
A little early for
Nick
me.
Nick Koumaltsos, a good friend of mine.
Coffee.
So you're the co-host?
Well, because I'm the co-host.
When did that happen?
Every time I say host, people are like, Sarah's the host.
Because I'm better.
Whatever. Anyways.
People love me. I'm telling you. They love me. They want me to be the host.
Well, I need you to relax your voice a little bit. Remember, you're not trying to make people's ears bleed. Yeah, so talk normally. That's why I control the soundboard right here for you guys watching on the YouTube channels, because I can very easily turn Sarah's sound down if I need to in emergency situations. But Nick.
Hi.
How are you?
I'm good, man. I'm happy to be here.
Good. You travel from North Carolina. Now you're in California for the next 2 days?
Yeah.
How do you compare California to North Carolina?
Do you have like a fart button on that thing or something?
I have a.
That's not a good one.
And then I also have a. I'm sorry.
Good.
There we go. Yeah.
So this is California?
Yeah.
Basically.
And this is North Carolina?
Hey, you know what though? I am really stoked. And we don't have to get into this, but like, I feel like Californians did it right. Like, of the recent news, I'm proud of them.
What?
The whole recall thing.
What recall thing?
What?
Oh, recall Gavin Newsom.
Yeah.
Oh, for sure. You know, that's like the third or fourth time that they've gotten enough signatures, but the lawyers.
Well, the Secretary of State said, yeah, it's legit.
He said it's good?
It said it's good.
About time.
Yeah, but I feel like it's not going to happen at least for a few
gracious.
months.
I mean, who knows if it'll happen at all, but I'm still like, I'm just proud of everybody that's in California. Like, I'm like, good for you guys.
We're fed up. I signed several of those things.
Yeah,
and I think
me
Sarah
too.
did too.
We all signed a lot.
Every time we see a sign, recall Gavin Newsom, let's go over there.
And we signed
Because
it.
I don't agree with the way he shut places down, especially, you see multiple, probably hundreds of businesses.
Well, I had to shut my business down.
Yeah.
I shut mine down, and we're about to shut the second one down. We only had 2 brick and mortars, and
You're going to shut it down again?
well, we shut the gym down,
Right.
and then now we're closing the shipping store.
Okay, so let's give the audience a little bit of text of what the
That's
gym
why
is
she's the
store.
host.
Yeah.
You're just gonna let that roll, and she was like, "Wait a minute."
Well, I guess, it's hard for me to remember that not everyone that listens to this channel knows who you are. So give yourself a little intro.
So wait. Yeah, let's go through a little background info. And
That's
then
what I just said,
explain the
Sarah.
store.
I love it.
That's what I just said. Okay, Nick, floor is yours.
All right. So basically, when the shutdowns happened, like everything, like everybody did, or most people did, like, okay, we don't know what's going to go, so we're going to do the right thing, which was stupid, and we're going to let them shut them down. Now, keep in mind, I live in a town of 2,500 people, so it's pretty damn small, and
Right.
no one really got COVID there. It's not
For
even
sure,
really,
yeah.
It's not even really a situation there. Anyways, so we closed the gym down for 2 weeks. That was what they said. Remember, like 2 weeks, and then you're going to be good.
Mm-hmm.
And so 2 weeks went by, and then our governor, who's much on board like Newsom, he's just a complete idiot, Governor Cooper, and he came back with this plan, and he goes, okay, and then he just did not mention training facilities, like totally overlooked it, and then kept overlooking it, and people were like, what is happening? So finally, like after 6 weeks, I said, I went on the CDC's website, I'm like, what do you guys want to do with, distancing and, capacity and cleanliness and all this kind of stuff, which if you run a good gym, our gym is 2,500 square feet. It's a small little training facility.
Yeah.
And it was a small membership list, and it wasn't that. It was just a kind of a neighborhood gym and great training facility. It was like something you'd see at, a professional athlete level because of my background and what I have. Like, it's what we put in there.
Yeah.
Anyways, so we just reopened, and then a couple weeks later, we got raided by the cops. Like, hands on guns. It made a video about it. It went viral.
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah.
And
It was nuts, man. They were like, he literally had his hand on his gun, and he was like, "Put the dumbbells down."
Why?
So crazy.
And they didn't have, and they did this all in the name of like the executive order and everything, and it had nothing to do with COVID. It was all about the executive order, and they didn't come with they weren't wearing masks, they weren't wearing gloves.
That's so funny.
It had nothing to do
They
with
hardly
health.
know what they were enforcing, did they?
No, they had no idea.
Yeah, just crazy.
So, anyways, that whole thing happened, but and then we shut down and opened back up, and then shut down and opened back up, and we just played this fight for so long, and then the problem really came into play with the government had just made so many people afraid that they just weren't coming. Like, we just didn't have the money. It cut our revenue in half, and you know, and you can sit and say like fight the man all the time, but dude, it's a business. It's not a,
For sure. Yeah.
it's got to make money to keep
Yep.
keep things going. So eventually we just said, you know, enough is enough, and we shut it down. I mean, I kept it, so it's our internal training facility now for our company. But as far as the business side of paying everything for businesses, like we
Just
shut
cut
it
it
down.
off.
Yeah, and the same thing happened with our other stores. Just, you know, the revenues, people. Are
What
just
other
not about.
stores? Explain that.
It's like a UPS store. It's like a
Packing and shipping.
Yeah, packing and shipping.
okay.
Yeah, we do business printing. So we did a lot of the like menus and banners and things for restaurants in the areas and things like that. Yeah.
Nice. Okay.
So
So
yeah,
So-
restaurants are shut down, so it's like they don't need as much.
Yeah.
So it's
Yeah.
just like it's like the trickle effect, right? And so again, I'm not in the business of just being in the business just to be like, the whole point of it is to make money and to be profitable. And because you know, fortunate enough for me, I don't have all my eggs in one basket. So there's some other businesses that are being very lucrative, even in the midst of everything going on. So we're going to focus on those and
Johnny
you know,
Slicks.
yeah, and cut the weight.
Yeah.
So we're cutting weight.
Makes sense. You can't just say Johnny Slicks and not say anything. So, talk a little bit about Johnny Slicks really quick.
Oh no, let's reverse it back, because I mentioned that not everybody who listens to this podcast and channel knows who Nick is. Majority do, but some don't. So
Yeah.
give us, you know, a
snapshot?
a good 5-liner. Yeah.
Okay, so basically, I am, you know, prior youth felon, and then jump right. We're just going to skip over all that, and we're going to jump right into the military.
I've never even heard that story.
I didn't know that either.
Really? Yeah, 2 felonies by the time I was like 12, 13 years old.
What kind of felonies? Can
Felonies.
you tell? Tell.
Burglar of a conveyance and weapon on school grounds.
Dang.
The weapon on school grounds was a felony because I was on probation, so
Was
it
it-
immediately jumped.
Was it a knife or a gun?
It was a knife.
Oh, okay.
So it is a butterfly knife.
And you were a burglar?
Yeah.
Is that how you say that word?
Why'd you say it like that? Okay, and you were a burglar.
Yeah, it was a burglar.
What'd you steal? Anything good?
No, it was stupid.
He's not going to brag about what he stole. So
No, it was
when he was
horrible.
13 years old.
Yeah, it was horrible. I was actually younger than that.
Wow.
But anyways, so I did. It was some gang stuff in Panama City. I grew up in Panama City, Florida.
Yeah.
You know, so in the 90s, and you know, there's a whole long sad story with that. But nonetheless, I straightened out my life and joined the military. Ended up in Force Reconnaissance, and then Marine Special Operations Command, and then did 12 years there. Deployed all over the world, helping the fight war on terrorism. Go America, and then got out and started I contracted for a little while, and then for about a year and a half, and then started my entrepreneurial life.
I don't think I knew that you contracted.
Yeah, I contracted for a year and a half.
What does contracted mean? I don't know what that means.
I was working for a contracting company supporting the Department of Defense.
Yeah.
Oh.
But I wasn't like holding a gun or doing anything like super cool. I was doing more intelligence based training and stuff like support like that.
So when you went from being
But it was much more money. It was a lot of money.
oh, I can imagine.
wow.
Yeah.
When you went from being a raider to the intel side, were you like, oh, this is boring?
Well, no, not really, because when I was in special operations, my last job was an ops intel chief on an IMSA, on a Marine Special Operations team. So I was already doing the operations intelligence work within MARSOC, and so yeah, it transferred over really well. So one of the companies that we were supporting us when I was active is actually the company that hired me on. So it was like one of those, and that you probably see that a lot too.
Yeah,
it's like,
for sure.
These companies that you're contracted to support, it's like they ID people and they're like, oh, if he's getting out, we're gonna pick him up.
Yeah.
And then you get paid like 17 times more money than you were
It's
literally that you were just doing
Yeah.
as an enlisted, guy.
It's like, for reference, it's like 70 grand in the military versus 270 grand being
Yeah, right.
contracted.
Exactly. Yeah. It's stupid.
Yeah.
It's stupid.
That's
huh?
crazy.
And it's funny. It's so the interview. I remember being in this like crappy hotel because I had to do this interview. So I was staying in some like Motel 6, like the doors on the outside, right? And there's like people on the balcony and lawn chairs, that kind of place.
Yeah.
And you're just like, fuck, I gotta like put my chair under my door. Like, who knows? It was a bad part of. And I was
Yikes.
in DC too.
Oh.
So it was like, yeah. So it was not a great neighborhood, but it was what I could afford at the time and whatever.
Yeah.
And I'm on the phone with the VP of the company and we're negotiating salary. And I was like, I can't do it for anything less than this. And like before I even put a period on that statement, he was like, that sounds good.
Really?
I was like, yeah, and I was like,
wait, 80 grand more.
yeah, I was like, shit.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So I have to ask, what did you say? What was that number?
It was 125.
Okay.
So I came out and it was quite a significant pay bump from what I was making.
Oh,
Yeah.
for sure. Yeah.
Yeah, and then so my first year out, I made 163. So going from an enlisted staff sergeant in special operations to 163,000 a year.
So the
And then I gave it all up to make nothing for years.
And that's going to be an entrepreneur, right? Mm-hmm. Yeah. So we'll get into Johnny Slicks in a minute, but what was your first entrepreneurial adventure?
Oh man, that was survival and tactical systems. It was I make the joke that every special operation guys get out of the military and he goes contracting because that's what he thinks he has to do. And then when he's done contracting, he opens his own training business because they think that's all they can do.
Yeah.
And there's so many guys out there that do that exact thing. Hopefully now with the things that I've done, it shows. I've seen guys not do that now, which is really cool. But I did the typical thing. I was like, well, I'm going to shoot freaking guns and teach people tactics and stuff.
Yeah.
And I hated my life. Anyways, but
was it really that bad though? Teaching people?
It just wasn't my passion, man. It just, it's just something that I thought that I had the ability to really do. And we did it, right? We traveled all over the United States doing it and made some money. The profit margin wasn't there. Had a big team. We did some things. There's some things I would do different. But the real plan for that, the real business model was that we were going to buy some property and create this training facility.
Yeah.
And contract to the government. And it just never happened. I mean, I talked with investors all over the world. And I consider that my very first failure.
Can you give us context, what time range is this? Is this like when businesses are booming?
13, 14.
Okay,
so
2013, 14.
Yeah, 13, 14. So I wouldn't say it was booming. Taxes were really high.
Yeah.
Under the Obama administration, we were at 38% tax bracket. So any money that you didn't make, any profit you did make was very little. Very little. And we were trying to start up, so it was like
exactly.
So it's like it was kind of fighting an uphill battle, but we made it work. And here's the thing that I like about that story is because, and I try to tell so many people this, is if I would have not gone all in on that and continued to drive forward, I would have not landed where I'm at today. Like literally doing all those things is what landed me. Like we had to market the business. Mm-hmm. I met my wife. And she was like, we're gonna market the shit out of all this, and we're gonna shoot videos and photos and everything, and then make you kind of the face man of this and get you talking on camera, which was horrible when I first started.
Wait. How did you meet your wife?
Instagram.
What? I didn't hear the story.
You guys both had a similar interest in video production, right?
No, I had no interest.
That's what he's saying.
You went to school for video production?
Years later.
Oh, okay.
So let's go back. It's 13, 14. You want to do this tactical thing.
This whole podcast is just us going back.
Yeah,
let's go back. Let's go
back, guys. Okay, so you're doing that.
Yeah.
13, 14. You meet her on Instagram. You just slide into her DMs. Hey, girl.
I think
you look
something.
cute.
No. So we had a mutual friend, Wes Whitlock from Rogue American Apparel, and I was with him at the time. And I'd kind of been he had been sharing her photos and things like that. And so finally,
you were like, you like that booty.
Yeah.
You're like, dang, shawty.
It was pretty much like that. And she never directly. This is where the story gets really messed up. And I don't think I've ever really shared this, but she never directly reached out to me. Uh-huh. We would comment on each other's stuff and things like that, but she never DM'd me or reached out to me, and I never did to her either. So finally, she was and she told her friend, which I have proof of this. She goes, God. I'm going to post a photo that's going to get him to message me.
Yeah.
And she did.
What was the photo?
It was her. She was naked. She was covered up. No, she was she was covered.
Okay.
She was
Instagram, right?
Yeah, it was a photo that she had done for a tattoo, her brother's tattoo place, and she took a bunch of photos of girls tattooed. Yeah. It was and they were all covered up, but it was the art that they hung. Got it. In the tattoo parlor. Well, she posted that photo, and I said something like, "Come on now, you can't be posting photos like that on the internet." And that's how. That was one. She laid a trap, and she told her friend Erin. She goes, she's like, I'm gonna get this fucker to message me.
That's so funny.
And she did it, and then she deleted the photo afterwards.
Just to
that's like some Black Widow trap shit, isn't it?
That's smart.
She knew.
But look at her. Yeah, now you guys are married with a baby and everything.
Yeah. So years later, you never would have thought that it would have went that far, but it did. and it was awesome. So
congrats.
yeah,
I remember
funny.
reading in your book how you had a big segment about her in there.
yeah,
And I like that a lot.
Yeah, it was a big turning point for me of having that kind of positive relationship or positive person in my life at the time. That
Wait,
that
stop.
cared.
We're going off track here, boys. Stay on track. 13, 14, you met your wife.
Yeah.
You're trying to
We're
build,
establishing a timeline for his life now.
Yeah.
basically. Well,
Okay.
then you're like, oh, I heard about that in your book. And it's like, let's go back. So you're trying to build this tactical ground.
Yes, at the same time, what he's talking about, at the same time I'm trying to build this business, I'm going through this transition of leaving the military that was just kind of horrendous. You know what I mean? Like, multiple traumatic brain injuries. I ended up going to a 2-week inpatient brain clinic, dealing with all kinds of stuff, hormones, all over. Like I didn't realize that my testosterone was in the crapper. From my brain being damaged. And so there's just like all kinds of like personal struggles in life, and in the midst of trying to build this business, which was, it doesn't really work that well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I guess I don't think I have any traumatic brain injuries, but I feel like that's what I'm dealing with right now a little bit, trying to build the battle bunker as well as adapt to civilian life.
It's different.
It's very different.
Yeah. People don't realize I hate to put it, I hate to compare the two and I did it in my book basically of like being in prison and then getting out and trying to start your life. And it's, and a lot of guys are like, well, it's not the same. It's like, just because you're in the military, it's not the same. No, I get it. You're not in an 8x8, a 4x4 square box, but you got to think about the lifestyle and the way that your brain works and the things that happen in your life and what you're control over. There's a lot of similarities.
I think one of the biggest things that I see, at least just from Austen, it's just like so crazy. Like I remember this is before COVID and anything like that. And Austen's active duty. And I was like, let's go to Mexico. It was like going through jumps and hoops for him to just like go on a vacation to flip in Mexico. And this is like when everyone's going to Mexico for the weekend or like blah, blah, blah.
Right.
And just and this is before COVID, anything like that. And it just took him forever. And I was like, wow, I didn't realize how whatever it was.
And when I go somewhere, I still feel guilt like somebody's watching over me. Like I have to fill
ask
out
permission.
some form and
Yeah.
ask permission. That's why I don't go a lot of places now.
If we wanted to go to Mexico tonight, we could make that, you know what I'm saying?
Right,
It's
exactly.
Like,
But like when you're in the military, it's like,
you make a call, like I just booked a resort. I got a plane ride. We're leaving at 9 p.m. You ready?
yeah,
That's it.
I was just, and that really opened up my mind a lot more when you're active duty. Cause I'm a civilian or whatever you guys call us. Civvy, a little civvy, but it was just
we are too.
now you guys are, but it was just so eye opening to me to be like, wow, you can't just like get on a plane, or like even when you are active duty, Austen's like, it's not like I can just like go drive somewhere.
No.
Like I have to be, it's not like he can just like be like, hey, I'm coming over. I'm going to go take a road trip, or hey, I'm going to go here. Like you have to stay within
300-mile radius for us.
Yeah. So that just really opened my eyes to realize like, wow, I didn't realize how.
Yeah. And I think psychologically, like, even though it's not a huge big deal because you got your life there, unless you want to take a vacation, it's not.
Right. Exactly.
Who the hell's driving 300 miles on a weekend?
Exactly.
Except some E2 that's like, let's go to a rager. Let's do a rager all night.
Yeah.
Typically most adults are not doing that. So it's not that big of a deal. I think it's just, but the fact that it's there kind of does play a factor in, mentally over a period of time. Because now you got a guy that's in 30s, and it like, even for me, it was just like, oh, wait a minute, I can take a vacation whenever I want.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Like I don't have to, and that, I remember it hitting me. It was like 14 or 15 when it hit me. I was like, oh, I can just go to Greece whenever I want. There's no days. It's just, as long as I work, if you have a business, you have to, work it out with your team and everything, but it's really on you. And there's not, there's not a certain amount of days that you only can leave. It's like, if I want to leave half the year, I'll leave half the year.
True.
Yeah.
And I think it's a lot different too, like people who have like a 9-to-5 job or things like that. Like, we have to get PTO and paid time off and we have to get it approved, but like nothing like, the checklist Austen went through, I was like, what? Yeah,
it's a hard thing to really, people listening are probably like, this doesn't make any sense. And it's like, you really have to be in it to really fully understand it, you know?
And the travel is such a small aspect compared.
Oh yeah, sorry, I didn't. But I just feel like that was one thing as a civilian that opened my eyes a lot more.
The thing that I deal with, I know you deal with this too, is just communicating effectively and socializing with people that I don't want to say weren't in the military. It's just completely different. Like I was discussing this on Instagram Live the other day. When you tell somebody to do something in the military, if it doesn't get done, there's a hard consequence like EMI, push-ups, stuff like that. If you tell somebody that in the civilian world and it doesn't get done, you're going to either probably lose a team member if it keeps happening, or they're going to, I don't know. I mean, it's a more, I feel like it would take it's taking a toll.
Honestly, I think that there's more leadership. You have to have more leadership outside of the military. Like the military talks about leadership all the time, but it's really kind of horseshit. Because the reason why that it's horseshit is because, like you just said, it's like listen, I outrank you, you work for me, and if I say something, you execute. It's really, there's not much leadership there. You know what I mean? But in the rest of the world, like they don't have to do anything. Yes, they're getting paid to do, but they don't. They can also just walk out the door.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like, how do you motivate people, or a better word, inspire people to do a job and do it well and to be passionate about that job.
Yeah.
Like that's true leadership, and that's freaking difficult.
Yeah. Completely agree with you.
I never thought about it like that, but you have a good point.
Like that's like, and so moving from the military and going into the entrepreneurial world and building these teams, it's a struggle, man. Because you want to be like, they're like, what's my motivation for doing this? The old Alfred Hitchcock quote. What's my motivation for doing this?
For sure.
Your paycheck. That's what your motivation should be.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You know, but sometimes it's not that simple.
Mm-hmm.
You know.
And I just because I'm kind of thinking out on my own topic, you know, so I work in the healthcare field, and I think when I delegate to something, the leadership's different because it's like it's this person's life on the line.
Right.
And I feel like when I tell someone to do something, they're gonna freaking do it.
They're gonna freaking do it.
Well, I almost said the F word, like, and that's what I was telling Austen. I was like, but then I see what you're saying, like, well, what's the motive? Like, it's a paycheck. I guess when I look in the healthcare field, I'm like, well, it's this person's life. You're about to fucking lose them. Like, so it's a little different. And Austen and I were kind of talking the other day, you know.
Well, it might not always be about life. It might be like changing bedpans. Like nobody wants to do that, right?
Oh, that's true. You have a good
know
point.
What I'm saying? So it's like what, like I don't, I've had a rough day. My kids were crying when I left, and now
a good point.
And now I've got somebody telling me to change bedpans, and I just don't feel like it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, like that's a, how do you rally people around that situation? And you're like, I'm going to change these bedpans with great enthusiasm.
That's
you know
right.
what I mean? Like,
yeah.
So there has to be
So what is the secret? Tell us a secret, because I don't know.
I don't know if there is a secret. There has to be a level of empathy there that you have to get to know people. On both sides, there's a level of responsibility that you like and discipline that you have to do it right. Like on the worker side, like, listen, life sucks sometimes. Yeah. You just drive forward.
Yeah.
You drive forward no matter what. And so there is a level of weakness in the world that you see in the world, and this is something that one of the companies that I run, we try to stamp out. That's what the Akogi is, just stomping out weakness, having empathy and love, but still making people strong again, mentally and physically. And then, but with that is like you have to have a level of empathy that things have to get done. It's like, yes, you had a bad day, your kids are crying, life sucks, you're wearing a mask 24/7, you can't breathe because you're taking care of all these people. Okay, guess what? You still have your life, you're still breathing, things are still okay, you're getting paid, drive on. Yeah. But as a leader, you have to like acknowledge, like, yes, I acknowledge that it sucks, but we are going to persevere,
push forward
regardless.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And we're going to make it through, and there's going to be better days. But it's like I think just acknowledging that it sucks sometimes is a good part. It's like, what do you mean it sucks? It doesn't suck, blah blah. No, bro. Sometimes it sucks. Yeah. Yeah, it sucks. But you know what? We're in this together, and we're gonna get through it.
Yeah, completely agree with that. I specifically remember we used to have to take water and ice down for the crew that was coming in so the people can relieve them with fresh ice and water.
Yeah.
And everybody hated to do it. It's such a small task, but everybody hated doing it because you have to load all those heavy coolers and put the water in there and bring them out, 100 feet to the boats and everything. And I hated doing it too, but I felt like I took it like with a level of enthusiasm and a little bit of sarcasm, like, all right, guys, it's time to, trying to cheer everybody up and trying to, obviously people knew I was joking and being sarcastic, but it seemed to kind of inspire everybody to just get through it.
Let me ask you a question. What are the people that were getting that ice and the water and everything? Like, if you were on the receiving end of that, how was that?
It was great, because we had crews before us bringing us ice and water, and that's how another way that we kept, like, we knew that our water had to be filled, so let's do it for the next crew, and then so on and so on.
Yeah, I mean, that's kind of, that's where I would go with that, is like, okay, how awesome it to, it's one thing to receive something. I think that, as you get older, the greater pleasure is in serving.
Agreed.
Yeah.
Than receiving.
Yeah.
I mean, at least for me, like, I really, really, like, if you want to progress in life, go serve others.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Go serve others, and it will give you a deeper appreciation and perception for everything.
Yeah. Completely agree with
I
that.
like that too. Yeah. I've also heard another thing someone said, like, sorry. I also heard another thing someone said. They were talking about basically, like, can you have a relationship with someone without worrying about, like, or what was it? Sorry, I'm off topic.
You lost your train of thought.
It was, I want to know what it was. It was something about basically, like, having a relationship with something without expecting something out of it.
Yeah.
So, like, just having a relationship with someone, but it's not like you're, like, asking for something. You're not asking for them to do this or this or this or trying to build or whatever.
I think that there's a lot of that, and you can take that into kind of our world too, Austen.
Right.
It's like, like, a lot of people won't work with other people because they're like, well, what am I going to get out of this situation or this collab or this whatever, this thing that we're doing together, and there's some people that will take advantage of that. But you know what? I've always been in the place that I'm just like, you know what? How can I help you?
Yeah.
How can I help you? How can I do something for you? And I'll always, mine always comes around, and it's always come around. Maybe not in the way that I thought it would, but something has always come around for me. And, and I'm and we work together enough, and I'm like, hey man, what do you need?
Yeah.
What do you need?
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Which is really good. I feel like a lot of people don't do that. They're like, no, I have my own thing.
Or I want this thing, or they expect something in return.
Exactly.
And you shouldn't. You should just, anytime you do something, say you give somebody $20, never expect that $20 back.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? Just give it to them. Give it to them and just.
He's looking at me.
She owes me $20.
No, I don't.
You took $20 for parking the other day. I need it back. Just kidding. You can have it.
Thanks.
Then you give her your car.
Nick, I did.
Yeah, thanks.
You want that back?
You want my car back too?
No, I'm okay.
I don't want that car back.
I've given you a lot of stuff. Cars, money,
Time.
my wiener.
I've given you my,
No, let's not talk about that.
Okay.
Anyways, Nick reminded me that you owed me $20. But what were you saying?
Basically, just do things without the expectation of something in return.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Truly give it to someone.
Yeah. Well, I think.
Truly give it to Sarah. Austen.
Yeah, exactly.
I do.
But what I'm saying is, for you guys too, Nick didn't explain that he has a YouTube channel and an Instagram following.
I thought we
and
do
things
that
like
at the end. Isn't that like
but
where can people find you, Nick?
Sarah doesn't know how to podcast.
Oh, okay.
But I just wanted to explain, so you guys kind of have this platform, okay, on social media. What did you do to my mic?
I have to adjust your stuff
okay.
every second
Sorry.
because you're coming
So
with
you have
different
this
volumes.
platform on social media
Yeah.
where there's a lot of collabs and things like that, and blah, blah, blah. And it's always like, well, if you do this, what do I get? If you do this, I do that.
Tit for tat.
Tit for
well,
tat.
you know what? With everybody that I collab with, it's really not. It's not like okay, I'm giving this to you. What do I get? It's just you do it for the person, and and trust that when you're in need, they'll do.
Have you always felt
you.
that way?
Yeah.
Have you always felt that way?
And when
No.
people,
I was gonna say.
No, and early on, I felt like sometimes I would just do stuff and nothing would come back. It was something nothing would come back. It was just grind all the time, and I was like, felt like I was doing everything for everybody else.
yeah, but in the same sense, like you were saying, give. and don't expect anything in return. But I guess for me, like when I am devoting or giving something to somebody, whether it's, being in a video or a video collab or whatever, I don't expect them to give me anything back. But I know hopefully in the future, if I need something from them, then I'm more than welcome to ask them.
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
Or at least you have the opportunity to. Now, whether they give it to you or not.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I always find myself circling, like I meet and work with a lot of people. I take on different freelancers and contractors that video and do photo and all this other kind of stuff. But about 10 or 15%, I want back again. I guess I'm just a picky person. I can establish and identify people that would be great on the team.
Because you're just so perfect, Austen.
I'm just saying, Sarah.
I'm just saying.
I think there is it's very clear how they come across it, right? Like if they come across like, hey man, I'm here to help you, and here to get this job done to the best of my ability to fit this vision, then I think that's, you're like, yeah, I like that person. Yeah. But if they come in literally just thinking about themselves, you're like, yeah, this is not going to work out.
Yeah. I had a guy that would always ask, he was very amateur. He never, this is years ago. He never asked questions, he would just do it. And if it was wrong, he'd be like, oh, well, and then he'd just be like, okay, when can I expect to get paid? But, it wasn't a good,
so there's a guy right now that was taking some photos and videos for Johnny Slicks. He literally we gave him a discount code, but I think he bought his own products. So he's just getting started with like product photography.
Is
and
this an Amazon guy?
No.
Okay.
It's just some guy on Instagram that just, he decided he's going to start doing product photography and product like videography.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I'm like, dude, this guy's doing it right. Like I want to watch this guy in, a year and see what happens.
What makes you feel like he's doing it right?
Because
he
purchased
products,
course,
and then he's delivering. Here, man, here's some free photos and videos.
Oh, smart.
And he's not just doing that for one company; he's doing it for a ton of companies.
Smart.
But what's going to happen is what he's doing is he's building a portfolio with and he's getting good at it, and he's getting good high quality content. Yeah. What's going to happen is within a year, somebody's going to reach out to be like, hey man, I would like you to do this for me for, just like you did it for these other people. Mm-hmm. And he's going to be like, sweet, $500.
Right.
Exactly.
And then it's going to be like, sweet, $750 and $1,000. Yeah. And then the next thing you know, within 2-3 years, he's going to be charging, thousands for packages like that. Mm-hmm. But what so many people come in, they're like, they got 100 Instagram followers. They've taken a couple photos and they're like, yeah, I want $3,000 and I'll do a product. Like,
yeah.
Of what? I don't see nothing. But this guy's account is stacked already with product photography. Like, I mean, I'm high quality product photography.
He's going hard at it.
And he's not asking for nothing. He's just giving.
Okay, so I'm gonna back up here.
Yeah.
Here's a great example. Today in society, we have a zillion influencers on social media where they have these businesses. There's like, here, can you promote this for me? Here, can you promote this for me? Here, can you promote this for me for free? And doing all these free products and doing all these free giftings. So when do you kind of draw a point? After 2 years?
I think when people start reaching out for you, like, well, one, you're talking about asking for free. There's a big difference in asking for free and offering for free.
Oh, I see what you're saying. And he's kind of offering for free.
He's not. He purchased products, so he gave us money. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I just cut out what I just said.
Asking for free, like, that's never a good idea. Mm-hmm. I would never like I want you to do this, but I want you to do it for free. Well, ain't nothing in this world for free, man.
Exactly. And she's talking about companies that say, hey, we will give you a discount on our product if you post about it.
Nah.
Yeah. I feel, and the reason I say that is I feel like now, at least in my
it's like for your world,
you know
what I would do for you, what I would do is I do the same exact thing. I'd buy products and then do high quality imagery and promotion just because you like it and do reviews. So, and then you just take it from there. And eventually, that's probably already happened, people will be like, yo, I like what you're doing here. I like how you're promoting this stuff. Do you want to?
Well, I even see people like all the time. Like here's a great example. They'll DM you and be like, "Here, get these sunglasses. You can get them for free."
That's probably a company just trying to infiltrate your DMs and trying to get product.
I just feel like I see it a lot.
I click delete.
Yeah.
Block.
I don't even read it. So
Oh, damn, you just straight the block. She's ruthless, man.
I know.
It's a lot.
No, she drops a Q in there and then blocks.
No, I don't.
Comes
no,
off
I
aggressive.
don't. Nothing like that.
So let's get into
Johnny Slicks.
the Johnny Slick story.
Dun, dun, dun. Can I get a sound effect?
So I had to cut her mic down. Sarah, remember, you're gonna make these people's ears bleed.
This is the hot mic show.
Welcome to
It
the
is. It's not the
Hot
loud
Mic Show.
It's not the loud mic show.
Hot mic.
All right, drum roll. Johnny Slicks.
Johnny Slick. So, Mr. Johnny reached out to me on Instagram. This is back when, I was doing, just growing the media side of our business.
What year?
Oof.
2016?
18.
18.
Okay.
Yeah, 18. And, I was quite successful in my own right already and was doing a bunch of different things, had a stupid, 6 companies running at the same time.
Yeah.
And so he reached out to me 6 or 7 times on Instagram for over a period of, it might have been longer. It was 6 months. We actually found the DMs and scrolled back and
That's funny.
and he's like, "Hey brother, I got some beard oil."
brother.
Yeah. And it was funny because that's not the way he talks at
brother.
all
Yeah.
whatsoever.
He's trying to relate to you.
He was trying to relate to me,
Yeah.
not knowing that if I get those messages, I'm like, I'm out.
Yeah.
And it's
Usually if
funny.
they say, "Hey brother," they want something.
Yeah. So and he was trying to get me to promote his products, right?
Yeah.
And so he was doing all the things that he thought he could do with what he had availability to him, and he was making the stuff at this house, and it was just crazy, man. There's a great story on YouTube. And Facebook. It's got 12 million views about the whole that we produced, the whole Johnny Slick story.
I'll link it down below for
Yeah.
you guys in
Yeah.
the YouTube description.
So he was basically selling his plasma. Him and Rebecca were selling plasma to
Who's Rebecca?
his wife.
Okay.
To buy stickers and lids and try to put this product
They're
together.
plastic.
Yeah, to put it together. And he was making 5 or 6 at a time.
Yeah.
He could that's all. And then he would
Man.
drive around. I think he drove to Jersey one time to sell 5 pomades.
Aww.
Yeah, he's like if they just I know I'm losing money here, but if they just will use it, then they'll buy it. And then
Yeah.
I was like, well, how do you ship this stuff out? And he's like, well, they messaged me on Instagram,
And I deliver it.
and then no, he would go to the post office, buy post office stuff right there,
Yeah.
box it up, and ship it from there. And I was like, what was your profit margin? He was like, -3.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
Negative
seriously.
$3.
-$3.
Oh dang.
I'm like, so I don't know if it was quite that bad, but he was not making his gross profit his gross biggest month was $353 before we linked up.
Wow.
So finally he was during I don't know if you remember the 90-day vlog where I did a vlog every day for 90 days.
I don't remember that.
Yeah,
That was before I knew you, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was 18, but it hit hard, man. It took my channel from 50,000. It took 9 months to get to 50,000 subscribers. I did the 90-day vlog and I went from 50 to over 100,000 in 90 days
Golly.
just because of the algorithm and
Yeah.
daily vlogging. So 90 days. And the whole point was that it started January 1st. The whole point of that was to show people how, what is it called? New Year's resolutions are bullshit.
Mm-hmm.
And to teach people how to plan. So I picked 3 objectives and I showed them how I was going to accomplish them in the 90-day period. And they just kind of followed this journey of accomplishing these 3 objectives.
Yeah.
So anyways, so during that 90-day vlog, he showed up and finally got linked up to me. I said, "Hey man, I'm going to swing by. I'll, just drop off some product." So he dropped off product and I texted.
He lives in the same area.
He just happened to be in the same area.
Okay.
He was just 25, 30 minutes up the road.
Okay.
And so I said, "Hey man, I just got to the office. Do you want to swing by?" And he's like, "Yeah, absolutely." So he turned around, came back, and we linked him. And I talked business with him about what he had going on and how he was doing things. And I was like, "Whoa, this is not the way to do things at all
I've
whatsoever."
Been like, what the heck?
Yeah.
Okay.
And he even laughs now. He's like, "You asked me some really hard questions." I was asking him infrastructure questions on how's things, and he didn't have anything.
And I'm sorry, how old is he?
Then, I mean, 24, I think.
Oh, so he's a younger guy.
Yeah. He was
Oh, so he's only like 28, 29 now?
27.
27. Okay.
think
I'm older than him.
Yeah.
Okay, I didn't know.
What's funny, though, this is what's so sad, is he looks phenomenal. I don't know if you see him, but
Yeah, for sure.
I put his ass in the gym, and I feel like I look at him, I'm like, yeah, I built that.
Yeah.
But he was, if you look at his physique now, I mean, he is, we call him Johnny Swoles now.
Yeah.
That's funny.
We've dropped Johnny Slicks. He's
Okay,
Johnny
wait, go
Swole.
back to the
Anyway, so
story.
so he reaches out, and then we link up, and so I opened the product on the video, which is so cool. This is what we were talking about earlier about talking about vlogging. The first time that I ever opened the box, I cut the box open and I opened the product and I tried.
On your channel.
It's on the channel.
That's
So
really
that's
cool.
what's one great thing that I miss about vlogging all the time is like you capture these moments that the first time that I ever tried Johnny Slicks is captured on video.
Yeah.
And I brought Allie into it and we talked about Johnny Slicks. Anyways, so after using the product for a couple weeks,
What was the exact product?
it was he only had 3, so it was 2 pomades and a beard oil.
Okay.
Yeah, so hair pomade and a beard oil.
Okay.
So anyway, using the product for like 2 weeks, and then I told Allie, I said, man, this is $1 million product. This is $1 million
And
product.
Allie's your wife.
Yeah.
Sorry.
So
And what did she say? She was like,
yeah, sure.
yeah.
I mean, she did not believe me. She just, she was like, okay. And I said, I want to partner with this guy. I want to take a portion of his company and I want to make this thing what it really is. And so I called him and I said, hey man, no, I don't want a yes. I texted him, I think. I said, hey man, I want to talk to you when I get back about taking Johnny Slicks to the next level.
Yeah.
I said, I don't want to, let's not talk until I get back. So I want to do it in person. And he messaged me. He's like, listen, we have to talk on the phone right now because you can't drop a message like that on me.
And then not talk to me.
And then not talk. He's like, I won't be able to sleep for the next 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
Exactly.
So if you know him, it's actually really funny because he is that way. And so he's like, no. He's like, screw this. Let's talk right now on the phone. So I called him and I said, hey man, this is what I want to do. I think you have $1 million product, and I want to help you make this what it is. And anyways, fast forward, we partnered. A couple weeks after that, we launched May 7th of 2018, and we within the first hour we broke his sales record.
That's crazy.
Yeah, it was, and then I think the first hour we made like $400 or something like that,
Yeah.
and then
he was like overwhelmed.
yeah, he was literally, I think he was like shedding a tear and dancing and saying,
Probably so,
yeah. It was kind of to watch him because I told him, I'm like, well, download Shopify. So I showed him like download Shopify. I showed him how to get the app, and then all the little chings that you did, and he was just like losing it. Yeah. So, anyways, fast forward, we became a 7-figure company within 2 years.
Crazy.
2 years.
Nice.
And we're moving into our 4th year now, and I actually had to shut my operations down, and
Because the team is expanding, right?
because the team's expanding. So I had my office. What was when you if you look at my old videos, like I had the wall. It was beautiful, man. It was beautiful. Not as beautiful as this, but it was beautiful. and we actually, because of the growth of the team and the growth of manufacturing and the growth of fulfillment, we had to shut our office space down and give that entire thing to Johnny Slicks. And then that wasn't enough. We had to get a second facility just to fulfill out of. And now we're moving to a 3rd place. And so like the growth is like, it's just continuously exponentially growing. Dang. That's one of the reasons why we've kind of shut down a lot of our businesses, because Johnny Slicks has grown so fast and so much that it's taking over. And it's just, with me running a lot of the business side of things, it takes up a lot more of my time. So, I'm more singularly focused on it than a lot of other things.
Yeah.
Wow. And explain Johnny Slicks. Austin's obsessed.
Oh, I use Johnny Slicks to curl my mustache. I use it in my hair.
He is obsessed. But even
first when I
before you
smelled
had
this,
the mustache.
Do you remember in the wintertime I'd use that maple syrup and you'd be like, ooh, you smell like pancakes.
Yeah.
And I'd be like, yeah, dude. She'd be like, come here.
So what's crazy is like listening to it, baby, like, I don't want to smell like maple syrup, but when you use it, it's nice.
Oh, for sure, yeah.
It's like, I don't want to smell like syrup.
I feel like kind of like a lumberjack.
Right. You've been lumberjacking?
Yeah.
But wait, let's back up. Before you even had the beard.
Speak into the microphone first. Thank you very much.
Before you even had the beard, I remember he got the pomade. He's like, oh my God, this is amazing. And his hair, he would be like constantly like that.
What's your favorite scent?
I think I like the rugged pomade.
Really?
You used to hate the rugged.
I know, but I've learned to love it.
You know why?
Why?
He's a manly man.
Because it's very unique and it reminds her of me.
Well, I think that it actually does something to a woman's
Estrogen?
erogenous zones.
Maybe so. That's why all the girls are trying to get in my pants.
Dude, we have 7 confirmed pregnancies based off Johnny Slicks.
Really?
What?
That's hilarious. You might have an 8.
7.
No.
You might have an 8 coming.
Dang.
Are you gonna pop out a little Austen?
No.
When my son came out, I was like, Austen, what the fuck have you been doing around my wife?
Because of his hair?
Yeah. Have
Well,
you
I'm
seen
not a
picture-
redhead, though.
Have you seen a picture of him?
Not lately. Why does
No?
he look really red or something?
Oh my God!
He's like super red.
So we have my wife is Italian and
Yeah.
I'm Greek and we have a clear baby. He is so white. He is clear and he's got red hair and clear eyelashes.
Aww.
he's super
Insert
cute.
picture.
So he came. Literally came out and I was like, we were both like,
Were you kind of
What?
mad at her at first?
no.
Okay.
Well, I did. We had to do IVF, so I was
Yeah.
like,
Oh, okay.
so I was like, did they mix up the samples?
The samples.
Whose kid is this?
That's funny.
That's
But he's
tough.
happy and healthy. And
No, he's super healthy. He's
Yeah.
freaking awesome.
I saw him doing pull-ups on your Instagram the other day.
Yeah,
Yeah.
8 months old doing pull-ups. Yeah, no big deal.
I didn't know you guys had to do IVF. Wow.
Yeah, well, so I had a vasectomy back in 2007, and it was so long that they were like, it doesn't make sense to do the reversal. We'll just go in there and take it out.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. So they just went in there and sliced up the old ball sack and
Nice.
sucked it all dry.
So it didn't require you guys to have sex to do that.
No, we created a life from a petri dish.
But did you make up for the sex afterwards?
I think we made up for it prior to even.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay,
I
good,
feel like
good.
I feel like that thing's been checked.
Okay, good.
Oh my God. That's
I'm
funny.
still waiting for Sarah and I.
I'm waiting
We're
for a
celebrating.
ring. Where's my
Ring.
ring? Where's my ring?
Let's not get into that.
Oh my gosh.
So Nick and I, actually, we got to go to the battle bunker. We're going to be removing some trailers today and going to be restoring them.
Yeah, what
But,
are you gonna do all day, Sarah?
Yeah, probably just sit here.
What do you mean? What am I gonna do all day? I got finals on Thursday. I got a workout. I haven't worked out in like 4 days because I've been at work taking care of sick people. I've been serving my community.
Serving my country.
Basically, I have.
That's actually a great response. What have you been doing with your
Yeah,
life,
what have you been
Austin?
doing?
Jesus.
Following
been-
freaking TikTok.
No, I don't even look at TikTok.
Please. you
Sarah's out there.
scroll.
Sarah's out there saving the world from COVID, and you're making TikTok
Sarah,
videos.
you were just on your phone during this podcast.
I was making a whatever.
Sorry,
to put on my
I'm
story.
gonna turn your microphone down, so it's just you and I, Nick.
I was making.
We can still hear your echo.
was
Okay,
making
okay, I'm
a
gonna turn you
video.
back on now. Ready? And I'm gonna turn
Okay,
it on
so
later.
anyways, I've been very busy. I go to school full time. I work, and I got to deal with Austen. And
I tell you what, that school full time while working. So like in the midst of me having all these businesses,
Mm-hmm.
I went through my bachelor's and master's program. I wanted to die.
yeah, so now have some empathy for me.
Yeah, have some empathy, Austin.
But he doesn't.
It's hard for me. I'm sorry.
He really struggles with having empathy for people.
He just doesn't. You don't care.
Is that no? It's not that I don't care. It's just that I don't know.
You look. You look weak. You
No.
should be.
Literally
You should be
said
Not
better.
like that at all,
people.
because even if
No,
I have a
you have
problem,
empathy for people. I see it.
maybe it's just not for Sarah because
Like he doesn't have empathy for me. I'll be like, oh my god, I just worked all day. I'm so tired. I just.
I'm so. It's
drove."
because I've become so accustomed to hearing people complain about stupid stuff that
But
I
I'm like, can
ignore
you
it.
rub my feet? And he's like,
I rub your feet,
no, you
and
don't.
I rub more than that.
No.
Yeah, go ahead and tell the audience what I rub.
All day.
All right, that's why I thought.
No, but seriously, I'll be like, can you just please rub my feet just for like 5 seconds? And he doesn't. He's watching squirrels. I'm like,
I don't
have a
even know
little
what you're
empathy
saying.
for me.
Did you put a little wine in your coffee this morning or something?
No.
It's a smart
Anyways,
idea.
we're here to talk to Nick, not to each other. Don't talk
I like
to me.
this. I like to see where this is going.
Well, they wanted to know what
I'm trying to think.
what I'm
think.
going to
Of,
be doing the rest of the day. So I'm going to tell you. I'm going to study for my finals. I'm going to get a workout in. I'm going to do your laundry. I'm going to do the dishes. I'm going to clean the house.
I know,
because
because
you
you're a
don't do that.
housewife. I got big fish to fry. We got to move this trailer and restore the battle bunker.
we had to
Anyways,
go-
guys.
we had to do man shit.
Exactly. Man, shit. All right, guys. We're going to tune out now. We have 54 minutes total on our SD card, and now we're rolling over 50 minutes. So, Nick, Tell the audience where they can find you.
Nick Koumaltsos. Good luck.
Everywhere. Nick Koumaltsos, good job.
Where can people find your book? I want to find your book. I should read it.
Xwarrior.com. You should read my wife's book, How Not to Be a Miserable Cow.
Wait, your wife has a...
You should read that.
I didn't even know. Can you get it for me?
Are you a miserable cow?
Yes.
You should definitely read this book then. It's How Not to Be a Miserable Cow.
Yeah.
I didn't know she had a book.
Yeah, it's pretty.
We'll get it.
It's pretty great.
How Not to Be a Miserable Cow, and Nick's book, Excommunicated Warrior.
Yeah.
Xwarrior.com.
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 Yeah, audiobook's on point because we do the, I kind of pulled a page out of Goggins' audiobook where we did podcasts in between the chapters, talking about the chapters. I think that's what sells it, man.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, can I have that? I can listen to it on my way to work for my hour drive commute there and back.
We're going to leave Nick's details down below, but I'm going to try to spell your last name. Koumaltsos.
What?
Koumalatsos.
Sure.
That was it.
So if you go into Google and type in, I just learned this, NickKoum, I think is all you need.
Okay. I have you saved in my phone as Nick Koo.
Nick Koo?
Yeah.
Nick Koo.
And
then I'm like, hey Siri, call Nick Koo. She's like, calling Nick Koo.
Is it K-O-U or K-O-O?
K-O-U.
Oh, at least you got that right.
Okay, that's enough for the show.
Thank you so much for listening, guys. It's been the Hot Mic Show with Austen and Sarah. Thank you so much to our
Nick for coming out.
special guest,
we
Nick.
appreciate you. I gotta go do your laundry. You're
Nick,
welcome.
any lasting words?
I love you all.
Love ya.
See you guys.